Hey, this is Tyrone Martinson, and this is my weekly edition of The Truth About Storytelling. I am going to be going to one video a week for the next probably 6 weeks, I think, until after Easter. I am taking a little bit of a kind of a slowdown through Lent, and I'm not Catholic, but I find that basically fasting from a few things that are distracting or overwhelming is helpful to me. So I am doing a partial fast from social media. So I am posting today. It's Mardi Gras or Fat Tuesday, and we don't really celebrate it that much here in Washington State. It's pretty low key, and so it's yeah, pretty low key. My husband and I are going to go to a movie tonight for Valentine's Day. That's how we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day a day early. And it's kind of our Fat Tuesday, I guess, if you will. And that's how we're going to celebrate that. And then I'll post again on Sunday because I'll be posting on Sundays throughout Lent most of the time. So I will be, yeah, that's my schedule that I'm planning. And then what's up this week otherwise is that I'm doing another little mini pivot away from doing as much on Kindle Vella. I'll be doing more uh, just book writing, and I'll be uploading a few episodes on Kindle Vella, but they've changed some things. If you are a student and you have an Amazon account and you have always wanted to read Kindle Vella, but you weren't sure you want to get into the pay system for it, now is a really good time to read because you can read on Kindle Vella if you have a student account for 6 months for free. However, what that means for authors is that we're not getting paid as well for the next 6 months. So it's a little like it's good because maybe more readers will come on board and read Kindle Vella, but it's also a little hard for authors who have a lot of material on Kindle Vella because it feels like we've kind of had the rug yanked out from under us a little bit as far as royalties go. So, so again, good and bad news. And so again, if you're a student and you want to read for free, go ahead and read for free. Get in, see what Kindle Vella is all about. And it's okay. Like it is what it is. And I honestly, it's kind of like having a book in the library. You know, as an author, you do want readers to read your work, and so I kind of try to see it as that. Like, okay, I'm getting I don't know, free advertising, I guess. And hopefully the readers who read those Kindle Vella episodes will also read some of my books. That's my hope. And so anyway, that's kind of a new thing that's happened recently. So if you hear any other Kindle Vella authors who are kind of like, there's, people are getting all of our work for free, that would be why. It's just student accounts that are getting Kindle Vella episodes for free for the next 6 months. But still, that is happening. And so I'll be focusing my work more on my non-Vela projects. And so I'll still be working on my New Testament study on there because it's kind of I guess you could say a promise I made to myself that I would work on a New Testament study and write about it this year. So, and I started on Kindle Vella, so I'll probably continue to upload some episodes there. So mainly, anyway, a little bit of a mini pivot again this week. I feel like this is the year of pivot. Like, have I done pivoting? I'm just going to turn around in circles, do the hokey pokey. That's what I feel like I'm doing so far this year. But, I'll eventually land on a place that hopefully will work. And by the way, you're getting reflection from my windows. It's very sunny outside, which is cool, but wow, there's a lot of reflection in my glasses. Anyway, that's just the way it is today. So I'm waving around this book, and it's the book that I just finished the other night. I think I talked about it in my last YouTube episode, but I finally finished it. This is City of Bones by Martha Wells. This is not actually a good Valentine's Day book because it's not really about romance. There's kind of a tiny bit of romance in there, but it's not really about romance. It's a wild kind of sci-fi fantasy dystopian book in which I don't know if it's a futuristic Earth or a futuristic planet that's not Earth, has there's this relic trade, and there's all this intrigue, and like what were the ancients doing? Why did they leave all these things behind? What are the relics for? And so there's all these questions and things going on, and the main character is actually not human. Most of the other characters are human, but the main character is not human. He is someone who is supposedly created by the ancients. His race was supposedly created by the ancients to survive the waste, which is what I kind of think is supposed to be a futuristic Earth, like a far futuristic dystopian after an apocalypse, kind of, sort of, maybe. You find out more as you read, so I don't want to give anything away. I really, really like this book. So, this is actually, I think, the first book that Martha Wells had published. And wow, it's brilliant and so, so good. And if you like thought-provoking science fiction or fantasy, I recommend City of Bones by Martha Wells. If you are looking for romance, this is not the book to read. So again, it's kind of weird that I'm talking about it right before Valentine's Day, but I just finished it last night. So that's why. Anyway, it's really well written and interesting and just different. And in a way that I like. I like books that are, well, I like happy endings that are really happy endings. This book is kind of an interesting kind of a happy ending. I like, again, I don't want to ruin it, but it's that the characters are happy, I guess, if you will, but it's really different. And I, again, there's so much I can't say if I don't want to give stuff away. Let's see, I might read the back of the book here. So the city of Sherasat, a tiered monolith that the ancients designed, sits on the edge of the vast desert known as the Waste. Kat, a member of a humanoid race created by the ancients to survive in the Waste, and Sagai, his human partner, are relic dealers working in the bottom tiers of society, trying to stay one step ahead of the trade inspectors. When Kat is hired by the all-powerful warders to find relics believed to be part of the ancients' arcane engines, he and his party begin unraveling the mysteries of an age-old technology. But of course, it's very dangerous. So, anyway, I recommend this book if you like sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian, and some really thought-provoking, interesting reading with fascinating, brilliant world building. So fascinating, brilliant world building. Loved it. So I don't think I write anything like this, but I wish I could. Anyway, yeah, she's brilliant. That's all I can say. I intend to read a lot of her other books now. So the bookshelf behind me, interestingly enough, that I usually do my episodes in front of, if I do it in front of the standing bookshelves, are the bookshelves where I keep the books I've already read, and then I keep some of my books up there, which I also have already read, right? I've read them many times. And then I have a bookshelf downstairs by my desk in my office that is, by the way, my office is just kind of like separated from the rest of the basement by cubicle walls. It's not exactly, high-end office type space, but the books I keep down there are also, they're childhood favorites and some books that I'm currently reading, but mostly writing craft books, and that also a bunch of my books because I don't know where else to keep them between events. And then on another shelf in our dining room, I currently have books that I plan to read this year, and I don't even want to stand in front of that shelf. You don't want to see. You do not want to see how many books I plan to read this year or hope to read this year. Maybe it's 2 years worth of books. They're books that I plan to reread and books that are new that were either given to me or that I've purchased at used bookstores or that I purchased new, and they're all on my TBR shelf. And the dangerous thing about that is there are also books I want to buy this year that I want to read. Whew. Anyway, there's a lot of books I would like to read this year. This is just one, and I'm kind of reading a little slower than usual. I usually read 2 books a week. This has been a 1.5 books a week kind of year for me so far. So I will see if I speed up. I don't know that I will. Typically, there's a couple months in the summer, or not a couple months, a couple weeks in the summer and a couple weeks in the winter when I have kind of a readathon type reading. But other than that, it's usually pretty steady. So I'm kind of headed into my steady pace time, and it's not as fast as it was last year. I guess it's okay. Anyway, I just wanted to stop by and say hello, tell you a little bit about my pivot again doing the hokey pokey, turning around. Don't know when I'm going to stop, but I will go after my goals. I'm going to keep writing every day. It might be 500 words, it might be 3,000 words, but somewhere in there I'm going to be writing every day. And there's some books that I hope to release this year. I'm actually afraid to give a timeline on them right now. I have a timeline on my calendar, but I'll let you know when I'm close, like really, really close. And hopefully not as far away as I feel like they are. Anyway, so I'm excited to share that book news with you when I get to it. And I'm excited to share more books I've read when I get to reading them. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day or Singles Day or however you celebrate love. I hope that you know that God loves you. I hope you know that you are worthy of being loved because you're a child of God, and God loves each and every person in the world. All you have to do is turn to him and say, all right, let's do this thing, God. And I mean, there's maybe a little bit more to it than that, but really when we turn to God and ask for him to be in our lives, his love is amazing. And maybe we don't always feel it. I mean, I don't always feel it, but it's there. God's love is real. And with that love, we can accept love into our own hearts. We can love other people, and we can love God. So anyway, I hope you're having a good Valentine's Day or Valentine's Day week, and I will see you Sunday.